Asante sana. Good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for that introduction. My name is Wambu Mbesa, as you have heard. And let's talk about why core banking is the heart of digital transformation or digital experience for the SACCO. Just a little bit about Netcompany. We are in the technology space, providing IT solutions and services in many sectors, but banking and financial services sector, including SACCO, is why I'm here today, and that's one of our focus areas. We also have partnership with Relational, who give part of the channel in terms of loans origination, and we work closely with them. And recently they have been actually appointed as a value-added reseller for our solutions, including Profit core banking system. Good. So let me see if I can. Fantastic. So let us talk about digital. Before I get into the core banking system, let's talk about digital transformation. And I know Harry had a session in the morning. I missed it, so I'm not sure exactly what he said. But basically, digital transformation is about adoption of digital technology in an organization. Basically, it's simple definition. But apart from digitization, please understand there's also digitalization. So there's digitization and digitalization. And there's a subtle difference because digital transformation is about automating, your processes from manual to, you digitize them. Digitalization is about bringing new innovation, not existing already in the organization, into the organization. And so, there's a subtle difference there. And this slide is very important because it's a process. Digital transformation is a process. You have to think about the state-of-the-art modern technologies and how you want to approach your members, because we've heard from Sydney and others, the member is at the core of why you exist as a SACCO. So, state-of-the-art modern technologies, member-facing. However, you need a strong core banking system in the back end to actually manage to serve your members the way you want to serve them, or customers. And so it's about the omni-channel framework. It's about regulation and compliance and ensuring best practice and standardization. It's about consultants that you bring about to do your deployments of the core banking system. Obviously, member experience and user experience, very important. Integration to the enterprise. All this is what we are calling digital transformation. And they take, they're very important. However, there's one or two things the panel discussed that I really want us to pick out from this slide. When you're talking about digital transformation, professional enabling is very important. You need to build in the SACCO space. You need to bring in professionals in the SACCO space to help you actually make that move from using whether it's ERP or any other solution into core banking space. And I've noticed in the industry now, a lot of SACCOs are actually reaching out and poaching from the banks talent to come into the banking space, because this is not a simple journey. So digital maturity is also something very important when you're walking the digital journey. The lights have gone on me, but anyway. And then composable architecture. You have to have an approach where you are actually building the application slowly by slowly. It's modular. And this is very important. So I just wanted to, open up with this slide with that context. But let us look at what core banking solutions are. I know it sounds easy, core banking. But I can tell you in the industry, very few people understand what core banking is. And core banking solutions. And you will see even advertisements, RFPs. How do they come out? We're looking for an ERP, core banking, this and that, We're looking for, the core banking is in there in the sentence, but it's not very clear what they're looking for. It's because a lot of people don't understand the role of core banking within an organization. So let me start there. Core banking solution or core banking system is actually a back-end system. It's a back-end system. You can call it a big general ledger. And what it does, it processes the daily banking transactions, posting of accounts and financial records and all that. It is not exposed to the members or the customers. They don't see this. And then there is actually an omni-channel framework around the core banking that assists in the digitization of and exposing what do you call them? To the customer, to the member, what it is that they need to interact with. And that's where you have your mobile banking, your USSD, mobile banking app, USSD, internet banking, and all the other channels. So for these to work, and for third party, these are all third party systems, the core banking, you need a very robust API ecosystem so that now the APIs can be exchanged. This is a way of talking, it enables the systems to talk to each other, and the APIs facilitate third parties to talk to the core banking. So this is how it works. So I hope you do understand. So this is what we're talking about. So the core banking system or core banking solutions is actually a digital enabler. It's the one that provides the SACCO with digital enablement. So when we're talking about digital enablement, what are we talking about? Because I said core banking is back end, you need, how do you then interact with your members, giving them the solutions that they need and so on. And these are some of the digital channels, and there are many. If you look at the banks, if we can say we are sort of, they've set the SACCOs are now have just come to the core banking space. The banks are very mature, obviously, in this space. You'll find that banks have many channels. At any time for the core banking systems that we're deploying, more than 10 channels we are integrating with. And those are just channels. The points of integration could be 50, 60, 70. With, let's say, if it's a bank or whatever. So, mobile wallet, we're talking about, digital loan originations and credit scoring, internet banking and mobile banking, card management, and so on. Digital channels like registration, we're talking about personal finance management, and so on and so forth. There are very many. Biometrics and e-signature, we're talking about loyalty programs. It was interesting when the panel was discussing, and somebody was talking about giving airtime to the members, maybe so they can interact more. And I was thinking, maybe a loyalty program can work. Instead of just dishing out bundles, you look at the members who are loyal, and then you craft a package, and you reward them with some form of bonga points. I don't know. Anyway, so loyalty program. These are all channels that actually can integrate with your core banking system at the back end to allow you to actually serve your member and compete in the financial services space. And again, the panel talked about who are you competing with? Why should you structure yourself in a way that you actually consider core banking system? You're competing with your banks. A few years down the road, I'm sure the banks will really feel the SACCOs, because they'll take a lot of members away and customers. Right now, most of the members are multi-bank actually. I have a SACCO account. I have many SACCO accounts. I have many bank accounts and so on. So we are multi-bank, even though we are members of these SACCOs. So data encryption, two-factor authentication, all these are channels that have to integrate with your core banking system. So I hope now we understand that a core banking system is actually the one that brings about the enablement that is required for you to actually serve your members properly and grow your SACCO business. I'll not talk a lot about features and functionality of a core banking system. However, there are very many. If you look at how the ease of loan management is just one of those. A core banking system allows you to actually automate the loan decisioning, when a member applies for a loan and so on. How are they eligible? The scoring, and so on and so forth. So that you remove bias and you remove, subjectivity in how you give a loan. It's data driven. You do your analytics and you decide this person, are eligible for this loan and so on and so forth. So ease of loan management. If somebody defaults, it's not somebody with an Excel sheet trying to follow up and make sure that they're paying. It's actually the system sniffing and ensuring that you recover the money, and so on and so forth. So member onboarding, data capabilities, this is a big one, when it comes to analytics and BI. The core banking system collects a lot of information. And that is why banks are so ahead in terms of how they compete, because if you have the correct BI solutions and analytics, leveraging on the data that the core banking collects, you can understand everything about the member, and therefore you're able to tailor solutions to actually fit that member. Integration capabilities, and so on and so forth. I'm sure this slide will be shared. I just had about 20 minutes to do this presentation. So it's very rich in features, a core banking system. Let us go to the challenges of implementing a core banking system. This is very interesting, and I just put a few of them up. And you can see I'm posing. I'm wondering, they're not in any particular order, but let me just say, first of all, budget. A core banking system is an expensive system, and you do need to set aside, allocate a budget that's appropriate, not just for the core banking system, but also for many other accompanying changes that come with the core banking system. Many changes. You're going to do data cleaning, you're going to do migration, integrations. So all these things require that you have a good budget. And we're talking about $1 million plus. You need a good budget. Change management is one of the challenges. The way you conduct a business, the way SACCOs conduct their business, and you've had the discussion, the history of SACCOs, to move to a core banking system is a major shift. And so change management is one of the challenges that, really need to be looked into, to ensure that users and members are educated to understand what a core banking system is coming to do for them. And also ensuring that all the users within the organizations are ready for this change. In many of the projects, you'll find that they actually designate a change management officer or outsource it to drive this change. It's huge, and you get a lot of resistance if you don't manage this one properly. The other challenge is the data cleanup and data migration. This one is a challenge because the architecture of a core banking system is very different from the current systems that SACCOs are using in actually managing and lending to members. Very, very different. A core banking system is built on best practice in the financial services sector, and it actually enforces the prudential guidelines and all the guidelines and regulatory guidelines that are given, even by SASRA, or if it is a central bank and so on. So it is very important that the data migration happens well, and this is one of the challenges that SACCOs really face. Leadership support. This one is a must because implementation of core banking system is a major undertaking, and it costs a lot of money. So leadership has to be involved, all the way from the boards to the management and everybody else in management. And the reason is to actually help with the change management and to lead from the front. The other one is stakeholder involvement. If there is a stakeholder involved sector, that is a SACCO sector. Everybody, including that member in Sydney, Kajiado, somewhere, everybody has a say, So stakeholder management, involvement, just ensuring that everybody is understanding what is happening, the change, and just driving the conversation so that happens well. There's a lot of politics. I will just say this because of that unique place that SACCOs find themselves in. They're the owners of the business, so they have a say, and then they're also customers. You understand? At the end of the day, they need to get the dividends, but they also, they're the owners. Another place to check, and maybe I can move on from there, is the integrations. Integrations, you've seen the channels that you need to integrate with. Many, many channels. You need to invest in an integration architect or actually outsource this capability. It is a big issue, integrations, because remember, it's a back end, and everything that the member is experiencing, is member facing. It's other vendors who are supplying it and so on. So integrations, those are some of the challenges. Some of them are also, SACCOs need to ensure that the requirements are very clear. Infrastructure readiness, somebody mentioned, this core banking. You really need to look at the infrastructure side, project governance issues, and obviously the politics. So, what are the factors that you should consider when selecting a core banking system? Obviously, I'm a bit biased. Profit is our core banking system. It's not the only system, core banking in the market, but let it be a placeholder for all the core banking systems. Security. I think somebody talked about security by design. And this is one of the differentiations between a core banking system and any other system in terms of, financial services sector. Core banking systems are designed, security by design. They're actually designed with security in mind. And so that's very important because you're holding member data and finances. Obviously, the strength of the implementing partner, you should look at that, because you need a partner that will support you in the journey. Functionality and features, we have looked at that. Very important to ensure that it's serving you. We have the solution acceptability in the market. Who has deployed these solutions, and this way you actually leverage best practice, because every time a deployment is done, it is entrenched in the sector, and you'll be assured that it's actually based on best practice in the sector. There's the issue of updatability. Can it be updated as the regulations are changing or the market is changing and so on? And then integratability. How can it integrate with the channels? And then this is my probably second last or last slide. The issue of managing risk, regulatory compliance, and data protection and privacy. I will not go through these points because they have been, discussed. Partner with a cybersecurity expert, very important. Get a security certified core banking system. Regulatory reporting, very important. And get a system that already has the framework for regulatory reporting. And then, very important, and this obviously comes with integrations to ensure that your customer experience. This is actually my last slide. So, the impact that we have seen in the core bank, in SACCOs, and you should expect when you're deploying a core banking system, faster processing. When you're doing online onboarding, you're doing online lending, through the channels, of course. This should be very fast. And when this happens quickly, obviously your numbers will grow. So this is the first impact. Your membership will grow, your asset base will grow, your CASA will grow. Credit and savings accounts and so on and so forth. There'll be growth. When you have a robust solution, core banking, running your business, smooth bulk processing, when it comes to dividends, for example, and so on, you're able to do that, and within a day or so, you've paid your dividends. And then, obviously, there's productivity of the staff because they have a good system in the back end serving them. And finally, when you have a stable environment, your infrastructure security, you've gotten it right, there will be increased stakeholder confidence. The regulator, the members, the telcos and so on, who are stakeholders in this ecosystem. So thank you very much. I hope I was right on time, and you can see me later if you have any more questions around the core banking system. Thank you very much.